So welcome, it's the Premier League Roundup show. It's the beginning of a new season and I was caught a bit short really yesterday because I was trying to work out when it was going to start, and I clicked onto my internet live stream and noticed that the match between Fulham and Arsenal, which was opening up the fixtures, had already started 5 minutes earlier. So more about that match later, but the format, I'm going to do a show for Saturday's matches. There were 4 in all, but I'm going to talk more about the featured match, and the other 3 are going to be brief details. This is in an effort to cut down the size of the videos. So let's get started. The featured match. The champions Liverpool at home to Leeds, newly promoted. It's 15 years since Leeds were in the Premier League. Wow, that long. They've had some interesting battles down the years, and I remember watching a FA Cup final when I was quite young, between the two, with Billy Bremner and Tommy Smith in the starting lineups. Anyway, to this match, Liverpool were at full strength rather. And Keita was in midfield, no Ox and no Fabinho, but Henderson was leading the side. Other than that, they were at full strength. Leeds, don't know much about their sides. I'll get to know them as the season goes on. But they got off to a pretty rocky start, and 16 years since they were in the Premier League, and within a few minutes, 4 minutes in fact, one of their defenders, Koch, managed to get an arm to a Salah shot, and the referee pointed to the spots, and Mohamed Salah, with a trimmed back hairstyle, rocketed the ball into the roof of the net. So that was 1-0. Leeds got the ball in the net shortly after, but it was denied for an offside. But then on 12 minutes, they did draw level through Harrison, and he got inside Arnold and beat Alisson, and that was level 1-1. 20 minutes, Robinson crossed from the left, and Van Dijk, unchallenged really, headed Liverpool back in front, 2-1 then. But Leeds were having none of it on the half hour. A bit of a mix-up really between Van Dijk and keeper Alisson, and Van Dijk couldn't get the ball back to the keeper, and Bamford got a touch and it swiggled past Alisson, and we were back level at 2-2. Then on 33 minutes there was another free kick on the left. It was clipped into the box. It was half-heartedly cleared by Leeds' defence, but Mohamed Salah was waiting for it, and he rifled the shot into the top corner to the left of the keeper, and so that was 3-2 to Liverpool at the break. Into the second half, and there was a strange issue that took place where Arnold ended up heading into his own goal. This was following a break by Harrison, but the offside flag clearly showed that he had got in front of the line, so that was disallowed. 66 minutes, Swift moved down the right, and a cross from the right, from Costa, and it was neatly controlled by Klitsch on the edge of the box, inside the box, and his crisp strike found the corner, and that levelled things up again, 3-3. What a match. Then we managed to get another incident involving Robertson from a corner. Van Dijk managed to get into space, and he striked it home, but it was chalked off for an infringement of some description, though I couldn't see anything. But it mattered nothing. On 87 minutes, Fabinho had come in on as a substitute, managed to get in the box. He was clearly upended, and Mohamed Salah stepped up, converted his second penalty of the contest. That meant he'd got a hat-trick, and that was good enough. So the champions took the game by 4-3. Not a particularly auspicious display by them. Lots of holes in that defence. But we have to have a word about Leeds. They took the game to the champions. They were not overawed. Their defence is full of holes, but they look pretty sharp on the break. And on this form, I think they're going to do very well. So final score then at Anfield was Liverpool 4, Leeds 3. Now let's have a look at those other 3 games. The early kick-off at Craven Cottage. Fulham back in the Premier League after 1 year's absence against the improving Arsenal, who have collected 2 trophies, FA Cup and Community Shield, in recent weeks. And basically it was really men against boys. An early goal for Arsenal, converted by Lacazette, showed up the poor defensiveness that Fulham suffered with before, and although they managed to match them in that first half, it fell apart quickly in the second. The new signing Gabriel in Arsenal's defence, he managed to head home from a corner to make it 2-0, and then a tremendous move involving Willian, another new signing from Chelsea, who hit Aubameyang with a crossfield pass, and the guy from Guinea, I think that's where he's from, Gabon, sorry, he launched his way towards the penalty box and hit a brilliantly curved shot into the top corner to the keeper's left, and that was 3-0. Game over. A solid start by Arsenal, but they'll need to bear in mind that this side, Fulham, look pretty poor really, and I think they're going to struggle again. Next match we're going to have a look at is at the London Stadium. West Ham at home to Newcastle. West Ham don't seem to have made any purchases, much the same squad, although they did leave Haller on the bench with Yarmolenko and Anderson, Antonio up front. Newcastle, though, they bought Callum Wilson from Bournemouth. Also they bought Ryan Fraser from Bournemouth, and Hendricks, and I think he comes from Burnley. So that meant that Wilson was leading the attack, no Joe Linton. Almiron was on the bench alongside Fraser, and they looked pretty good up front early on. Wilson looked sharp, and a goal in each half. No, I'm sorry, I've got that one wrong. 2 goals in the second half for the Magpies. First one for Wilson, who typical poacher goal on 56 from a cross from the right that was deflected. So he got them ahead, and then Hendrick cropped up with the second on 87, and it was a really quite an impressive performance by Newcastle. As for West Ham, well, they look pretty woeful, and they're going to have a tough season. Final score then at the London Stadium: West Ham 0, Newcastle 2. And now the last game, Crystal Palace at home to Southampton. A pretty good game from the highlights. Only 1 goal in it, and a rare one for Wilfried Zaha, who hasn't been snapped up. he converted on 13 minutes from across from Townsend. He hit it on the volley and it curled in the corner, and they were good value. Southampton took a while to get going. They did have a couple of chances in the second half, but Gaeta in the Palace goal was in supreme form, denying Ings in added time. So Roy Hodgson's side off to a win early on, and seeing as they hadn't won in 8 leading up to the end of the season, pretty good result. So final score then at Selhurst Park was Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 0. And that's my show for Saturday. We will have another show on Monday, which will look at the 2 fixtures on Sunday and the 2 on Monday. But there are 2 games that aren't being played this weekend, which I learnt yesterday. They involve the 2 Manchester clubs. Manchester United's away fixture with Burnley and Manchester City's home game with Aston Villa. They have been postponed as they've been granted extra time to recover from their exploits in the Europa League and the Champions League. Lucky old them.